Welcome to Carnity Off-road Club. This briefing will be used to give you the essential guidelines when joining our club and will help you to learn the art of off-roading in a safe way.
Driving off-road is always fun and exciting. That seems to be the most famous lifestyle activities for many locals and expats alike. My name is Gaurav and I've been off-roading since 2006. And I'm here today with my entire team of Carnity Off-road Club to brief you for your first off-road adventure.
Let's start with the first chapter, which is all about preparing your vehicle for your first off-road drive. You should start every drive with a full gas tank. Make sure your vehicle is properly serviced and has good tires, including a spare tire and a healthy battery and sufficient engine fluids. Get familiarized with your 4x4 and its electronic options. Switch off all traction aids such as ABS, ATC and disable the airbags. Pull the fuses or relays when needed. Don't be afraid to post your questions on the Carnity website.
Your 4x4 comes most probably with 4 high, 4 low and maybe a diff lock. In the desert, 99% of the times we drive our cars in 4 high. When the time is there to select 4 low or any of the diff locks, your seniors will tell you when to do. Please always drive in 4 high.
Fill in your emergency contact details in your Carnity user profile so we have access to your emergency details in case ever needed. Let's talk about deflation. Deflating your tires is essential as it creates a bigger footprint along a track in the sand. While on road you will be driving at 35 psi, going off-road in the dunes will require you to drop the pressure to 15 psi and sometimes lower if you have off-road tires. Use your quick deflator or stem removal tool to deflate and make sure to double check if you are at the correct pressure. Keep your speed below 40 if you drive on tarmac with deflated tires. This chapter shows our health and safety guidelines in order to make your off-road drive safe and pleasant. Never go off-road alone. 2 to 3 cars is a minimum. Always carry plenty of water for every drive. Everyone should wear their seatbelts at all times. Young children should be strapped safely in car seats as per the RTA road regulations. Do not lean out of the car or through the sunroof, and when taking photos, use a proper camera mount. We do not litter or leave rubbish behind, as it kills the wildlife. Make sure your vehicle's tow points are in perfect condition, not rusted or loose. We recommend wearing long pants and closed shoes and adequate protection from the sun. Keep an eye out for engine overheating signs in the car. Notify on the radio and stop your car if the engine is overheating.
There are snakes and scorpions in the desert. In the unlikely event that you get bitten by one, it's important to remember those 3 things. Number 1, try not to move. The less you move, the less blood circulation, which is better. Number 2, try to keep the part where you're bitten elevated. Number 3, try to take a photo of the animal. If not possible, try to give as much information that you have about the animal to your fellow off-roader. Only the government hospitals have the antidotes and they will administer the right type based on the description that you gave about the animal.
This chapter gives you an overview of the basic essential gear you need when going off-road. Later on, tools like recovery ropes and soft shackles will be explained when you start learning to recover your fellow off-roaders. The first thing you will be needing is a tire deflator. Either a stem removal tool or a quick deflator, whatever works for you. You will also need a tire pressure gauge to verify the pressure in your tires. You should also get a full-size shovel. A full-size shovel has a V-shaped tip, a big handle and is long enough so it can displace a lot of sand. You should never go and buy a foldable spoon. You should get a first aid kit, a fire extinguisher, a 12-volt compressor for tire reinflation, a 2-way UHF radio with manual frequency setting option, and an off-road flag. This chapter is all about convoy behavior. You should stick to your appointed convoy number at all time. If it gets altered due to some reason, fall back to the same order as soon as you can, but do this safely. You should follow the car in front of you all the time. Try to keep 5 to 10 cars distance in between the cars. Not enough distance might cause accidents, too much distance will stretch the convoy, or you might lose the track. If at one point you cannot see the car behind you anymore, Please stop and notify this immediately on the radio so that the convoy can be stopped. If the convoy is not moving due to some stuck or refusal, please be patient and stay safe at your designated position. Playing, side sloping or any breaking the convoy activities will not be tolerated. This chapter is all about using your radio to communicate with the convoy leaders and other members. You should start your drive with a fully charged radio. Having a spare one is even better. The radio will be used for essential communication only, as it saves the battery life. Language will be English only. You should listen and respond acknowledge to every radio communication promptly. You should form clear messages instead of a single word. Okay, copy. Stand by. Go ahead. Roger that. Try to provide information about who is broadcasting. For example, Grey Pajero, I have a refusal. This helps in convoy driving. After pushing the broadcast button, wait a second and then announce your message. Only one person at a time can broadcast on a channel, so multiple people broadcasting simultaneously will drown out the messages.
As a newbie, it's important when you're approaching a dune to go straight up or straight down. Never approach it at a sideways angle. Let the car in front of you clear through and then approach the dune. When you're approaching the dune, start off with 30% gas. When the front wheels of your tire reaches the crest of the dune, let go of the gas and the momentum of your car will let you go through. In the event, if 30% is insufficient and you're having a refusal, come back down, straight down. Start off from the same position and give 50% gas or 70% gas as needed. Never give it at full throttle, because if that happens, you will fly off the dune and would have frontal damage.
Okay, let's go and tackle our first dune. As a beginner, you should always go straight up, straight down when you approach a dune. Never fight gravity in the desert. This is extremely important. Steer down when your car is pulling you downwards. In tall dunes, let the car before you make the attempt and wait at an appropriate distance, but not on the foot of the dune. The car that has crossed the dune should confirm that he has crossed and that the dune is clear. For example, Jeep Wrangler, clear. It is highly advisable to keep your windows open, so based on the engine noise of the vehicle in front of you, you will be able to understand how much power you need to apply to make it over that dune. As soon as your front wheels reach the top, stop applying gas. Let the momentum do the rest. In case of a refusal, announce your vehicle type and color on the radio that you will reverse and make another attempt. Blue Pajero, I will reverse and try again. Once you reach the top of the dune, you'll need to safely descend. When you descend, you need to keep your wheels straight when going down the dune. You should never freewheel a slope in neutral and don't brake too aggressively. This would cause your nose to dig in and in a worst case scenario might even cause you to flip over.
Sometimes when you're coming down a steep incline, what you'll find is that the tail of your car tries to overtake the nose of your car. Now, the first thing to do is not panic. The second thing to do is not stick your brakes on, but what you've got to try and do is steer in the direction of the tail, and that will help you to straighten up again and make your way down safely to the bottom of the dune.
If coming down a sharp and steep downward slope, engage 4 low, first gear or D1 in the case of an automatic, and then let the car come down with the help of gravity and engine braking.
So when it comes to stopping, please do it gently. Apply the brakes in a very gentle manner, otherwise you're going to dig yourself in, and if possible you can even coast the car until it stops. Do not stop on an incline. If you stop on an incline, be sure that you are perpendicular to the incline itself. If you are not, you risk digging again yourself in, or even worse, tipping the car over toward the side of the incline. If you are stopping while the convoy is moving because something's happened to the car, please do so while moving away from the convoy line. Step on the side, stop, and call for help if needed.
Now, sooner or later, you will get stuck. It is really important to remember that you should always keep calm, because everybody gets stuck and it's a fantastic opportunity to learn. There is no shame in getting stuck. Announce that you are stuck on the radio, Red Wrangler, I am stuck. You can step out of the car and assess the situation when the marshal allows you. Engage in 4 low and try to reverse out upon instruction by the marshal. If needed, take out your shovel and start clearing the sand from the wheels. Always listen carefully to the advice of the senior off-roaders.
Switch to low gear as soon as you get stuck. Engage your diff-lock if you have one. Never ever give full gas at first. Steer your steering 5 times left, 5 times right, and then give the gas in the gentle burst up to 2000 RPM. Try to move your car forward or backward. You might get unstuck with a crawling rate, but that's okay. Slowly, you will get unstuck and get out of the situation.
During a recovery with a tow rope, clear the entire area. There should be no people in the near vicinity. If you're able to recover yourself, that is called a refusal. If you need assistance by tow ropes, shuffling, that is called a stuck. After a few drives, you will learn to distinguish the different types of dunes and the difference between the hard side of the dunes, which is the rippled surface where the prevailing winds blow, and the soft side. For newbie level, we generally only drive on the harder side of the dune because this is easier. As you climb up the off-road level ladder, you will learn more techniques to approach the dune from different angles. Our club Etiquette is heavily focused on community spirit and helping each other out. You should pay always 100% undivided attention to the instructions and follow them precisely. You should acknowledge the message, copy that. You should also be prepared to help others. And of course, try to observe and learn and ask questions. With respect to the government authorities and the implemented guidelines to avoid exposure to COVID-19, we have drafted the following guidelines and precautions. Failure to follow these will result in a ban from our club. There will be no gathering, no briefing in physical groups, no barbecue, no eating together, no touching, no hugging. Please take note of the following precautions. Always keep a minimum of 10 meter distance between the vehicles. The radio will be used for all communications. Switch it on as soon as you arrive at the deflation point. There will be no socializing during deflation, inflation, stuck, or at any playtime. The trip lead will do a key briefing and convoy numbering over the radio. Your radio will become even more important, so please make sure it's charged and tested on the assigned frequency. Once the drive is finished, all members are to spread out and re-inflate themselves and keep their distance. There will be no sharing of compressors, tools, recovery gears or radios at any time. If you are not feeling well, do not join the drive but take lots of rests. If at any point during the drive you are not feeling well, immediately inform the trip leader via the radio so he can plan an early exit. If you have traveled in the last 14 days, then please do not join any off-road drive. There will be a maximum of 2 persons per vehicle, and if they are not part of the same family or house, all should wear masks in the car. Off-roaders without a compressor should head to the nearby fuel station for the inflation. If a drive is ending at a place where there is no fuel station nearby, then the trip lead will inform in advance that only members having a compressor can join. We also have specific precautions for recoveries. Whenever there is a stuck or a refusal, only a marshal or a senior member or crew member is allowed to handle the situation. Everyone else, including the stuck car driver, stays inside the car at all times. The senior drivers will wear a mask and gloves at all times when they are outside their car. They will try to help self-recover through the radio guidance. If at any time a marshal requires help, only then you are allowed to step out by wearing a face mask and gloves at all times. With regards to the mandatory PPE for every drive, you should bring at least 2 face masks in case one gets damaged or flies away. You should bring at least 2 sets of rubber gloves. You should wear the face mask and gloves at all times when you're out of your vehicle. You should carry plenty of hand sanitizer and object sanitizer. Use your sanitizers generously whenever you step out of your vehicle to help or recover. Sanitize your hands before getting back into your car, and sanitize your recovery gears if you have used them. Enjoy your drive and be safe. If you have any questions, please ask them through the Carnity website.